Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from not the Commander's Core studio. Nailed it. I already messed up last time and now I had to re-record it. And I'm just saying this for some reason. Anyways, welcome to the show. So on this episode, I'm going to be talking about the most popular commanders from 2023. That's right. That year has wrapped up with nearly 400 commanders, and some like me might say that might be too much. This episode isn't about that though. This is going to be highlighting the most popular commanders from that year, the top 20. So with all that said, let's jump into it. And first up at number 20, with 4,827 decks to its name, Slimefoot and Squee. Fan favorite right there, Slimefoot, and I guess Squee too. Some people's fan favorite as well. A 3/3 fungus goblin in Jund. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you make a 1/1 sapling. By paying 1 in Jund colors, sacrifice a sapling, bring it back, and up to one other target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate as a sorcery. A very cool reanimation style commander that has a limitation to it where you need to have a sapling in play. Of course, this can actually make saplings. You can make other ways to make saplings, and I recommend that you have those because you don't want your commander just stuck in your graveyard and being like, well, someone dealt with my sapling, so I can't do anything. Yeah, a very cool commander though, a repeatable reanimation source. I love the design of this one, bringing about the cool things about Slimefoot and Squee, kind of just bring it back eternally just for fun. It's a lot of fun, and I can see why it has made the top 20. Next up, Exel San of a Traxa, a 2/5 Phyrexian Angel with a lot of text on it. Here we go. Flying, Vigilance, Toxic, 2 for 1, white, black, and a green. Corrupt at the beginning of your end step. Each opponent who has 3 or more poison counters exiles the top card of their library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. Spend mana as any color to cast those spells. There's a good amount going on with this commander, but some things that really went for it are, well, it is a pre-con commander, so therefore it kind of has a leg up on some other commanders because I should probably just note this. My data is coming from EDH Rec on the most popular commanders, and they're pulling from websites, and those websites are pulling from, well, people building decks, and some of those decks that are built are just kind of like copy, paste my pre-con, throw it in there, or copy, paste my pre-con, throw it in there, and adjust a couple things. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's telling you what players are playing too. But yeah, some of these precons just have a leg up. And this is a very interesting one because it kind of shows what players might like. And some players like, well, toxic. Well, poison counters. And also playing other opponents' things in kind of a more fair way, I would say, than like a send triplets, which is just like, hey, let's shut you down and play your things. You actually have to get to that point where you're at 3 poison counters. It's a pretty low bar to get to again. If you give this double strike, you're just getting there, number 1. If you hit an opponent once with this, and then you also just, I don't know, proliferate, you're also getting there too. But yeah, it kind of melds a couple of things that a lot of players are interested in and gives you some really good colors to work with too. So yeah, I can see why Exel San of Traxa finished at 19th. And I forgot to mention the number, 4,944 decks with the same, just short of 5,000. Congratulations, Exel San of Traxa. But moving on to number 18, we've got yet another Phyrexian, this time a Praetor, Noorn, Mother of Machines. Don't know why I decided to say it in that way, but I did. A 4/7 with Vigilance that costs 5 mana. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers additional time. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. Yeah, this is a pretty brutal and effective commander. Many players out there love doubling up triggers. Yeah, like a Panharmonicon type commander like Yarok essentially, but now this one in mono white. Say there's a limiting factor to that, but also speaking of a limiting factor, this limits your opponents in a big way. It says, hey, I get all the ETBs. In fact, I get double the ETBs, you get none. So it's basically like a Panharmonicon, but better commander in the command zone that also is kind of like a Torpor Orb, but just for your opponents, shutting down all of their ETBs, which can just be brutal and detrimental to them. Yeah, definitely a commander that has a lot of potential, also potential in 99 as well. Again, I will note that these numbers are only counting them as a commander, not counting the amount in the 99 included too. So make sure you keep that in mind. That being said, again, Noorn, Mother Machines, congratulations for your 18th place finish with 5,030 decks to your name. Next up, Nareth is back and in a big way at 17th place with 5,059 decks to its name, so just edged out Elish Noorn, a 3/4 human monk. Creatures you control have prowess, that's so cool. For 1 in Jeskai colors, whenever it attacks, exile target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than Nareth's power from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. That's a pretty cool effect. So this one essentially can be built in a couple of different ways. I mean, you could literally just go wide strategy like Monastery Mentor essentially. I mean, if that was budget, I'd be using it. But being able to go wide with those kinds of cards, and then also just being like, okay, cast a bunch of spells, and then just prowess. I should say non-creature spells. Getting a lot of additional power to all your creatures and taking opponents out in that way. Of course, though, you also gain benefits because this has prowess itself, so growing its own power allows you to cast again non-creature, non-land cards less than this power from any graveyard, not just your own, and copy it. So yeah, have fun with that. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with this one. There's a lot of different avenues that you can take this commander. Nareth, congratulations on your 17th place finish again with 5,059 decks to your name. Moving on to 16th place. Oh gosh, 5,207 decks to its name. Shalan Halar. Now, this is one I'm probably going to get some flack on in the comments below. I've actually gotten flack on it in previous episodes too because I'm not a fan of this one. Not because I don't think that it's not a powerful commander, because it is. It's just a bit too powerful in my opinion and too easy. It's too easy. It's way too easy. A 3/3 Angel Up with Flying Vigilance for 1 red, green, and white. Whenever one or more counters are put on a creature you control, Shalan Halar deals that much damage to target opponent. Too easy. Just way too easy. This thing combos with a ham sandwich. It comes with like 8 different things, like War Elemental, those kinds of cards essentially. And yeah, even if it's not comboing, it's very easy in these colors to get a good amount of creatures into play and then just to utilize any kind of a, hey, like put a counter on each creature you control. There's so many ways to do that, Feldar Retreat, etc. And then, oh, proliferate, cool, another 10 damage. Oh, I've got a damage doubler. Oh, I've got a damage tripler. Yeah, sure, it requires some setup, but not really all that much setup. And again, your opponents don't even they have to look out for the setup, number one, but they also have to look out again for any of those ham sandwich combo cards because it has so many, all be one, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm personally not a fan of it, but many people are apparently because again, 5,207 decks to its name. Congratulations, I guess, Shalan Halar. But now we're up to 15th place with 5,401 decks to its name. Anek, Hand of Erebos, a 4/4 legendary creature demigod. One of those cards that's like, yeah, when you get legendary enchantment creature on there, you got a little tiny space for that creature type, but yeah, demigod makes sense. 4/2 in Abzan colors, menace. Other enchantment creatures control have menace. Nice, being able to get through on opponents most likely. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard. Create a token that's copied it, except it's a 3/3 black zombie creature to other types. There's some really crazy things that you can do with this one. I mean, anytime I see this, I'm like, yeah, Song of the World Soul is quite fun to make a creature token of and then cast, other spells and then copy it because you can proliferate again and again and again because it's a creature then. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this one. Again, basically playing with, again, just, hey, getting token copies out of enchantments are a pretty fun thing to do, especially, again, when you can utilize populate effects, and you've got a lot of great populate effects in these colors. So, again, Anek, not surprised to see you up here. 15th place. Congratulations with 5,401 decks to your name. Next up at 14th place, yeah, also definitely not surprised to see this disgustingly awesome commander up here. Shelob, Childe of Ungoliant, an 8/8 spider demon, because that's a thing, with Death Touch and Ward 2 for 6 mana in total. And oh, goodness gracious, this is just a really cool Gorger commander. Other spiders you control have Death Touch and Ward 2. Whenever the creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature except it's a food artifact with pay 2 tap, sacrifice the artifact, gain 3 life, lose all their card types. This is one where you can do some pretty crazy things with this. Again, giving your spiders Death Touch and Ward 2 is already a big thing. Being able to protect them and also make every single one of them incredibly deadly. I mean, this one having Death Touch just basically means, hey, you give it trample, you're getting damage through. You could commander damage people out with it. But also, yeah, using lure type effects to force blocks from your opponent's creatures means that, yeah, they're going to have to block your spiders, which are going to be able to take them out, which gives you copies of those creatures. Sure, lose all their types, whatever, just basically food. But also, again, If that has an ETB or a trigger or an ability, you get all those effects, and you can do some pretty crazy things with this one. So yeah, a very spicy, very fun, very unique commander. Not surprised to see this one up there. And sure, you can just go Spider Travel if you really want to go in that direction too. So again, Shelob, Childe of Mongolia, congratulations on your 14th place finish. 5,498 decks to your name. But now we're at 13th place, and this one is just shooting up like a rocket right now with its numbers. Pantlaza, Sun Favored. I like to call it Lazy Pants because I think it's fun. A 4/4 dinosaur for 5 mana in Naya. Whenever it or another dinosaur enters the battlefield under control, you may discover X or X that creature's toughness. Do this only once each turn. Yeah, players out there, if you knew this, like dinosaurs. They love dinosaur tribal, and they say, hey, well, we love Geshef, but also we love Pantlaza, Lazy Pants. We love you. Get over here, Lazy Pants, and just get all the dinosaurs into play. Now, this only triggers once each turn, luckily, because that would just be broken if it did not. I mean, if you just played basically one dinosaur, it'd be like, oh, and do another one. Oh, and do another one. Oh, and do another one. That being said, this has a lot of potential. Of course, you are in, I was going to say colors, but color with white that you can actually utilize a lot of blink effects on your opponent's turns to also take advantage of this and get even more free value off the top of your library. And if you're not going Dinosaur Tribal, because I didn't with my build, you can do some pretty crazy things with it as well, even as crazy as, I don't know, casting this and automatically getting Blightsteel Colossus every single time you do so, which is fun. Everyone loves that, right? Maybe not, but still. Make sure you check that deck out if you haven't yet. But regardless, Lazy Pants, not surprised to see you up here. 13th place, 5,742 decks. Congratulations. But now we are at 12th place with 5,970 decks, just short of 6,000. I thought you could get there lower than Nazgul, but I was wrong. But still, you are so close. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't see this card. I was like, hey, it's definitely at 6,000. No, but it's still a very large number. Regardless, a crazy, crazy powerful and cool commander. Here we go. 4/3 Rake Noble Flying for 5 mana in Dimir. Race you control protection from ring bearers. Very specific. Probably won't come into play, but maybe it does. But regardless, it really isn't what matters. What matters is this. Whenever you cast it, insert short spell, create 3/3 black wraith creature token with menace. Then if you control 9 or more wraiths, you control a base power of is 9/9 until end of turn. Okay. So basically, this is Talrand, but plus black, so you're in Dimir. And those creatures are going to be slightly larger again. 3/3s, no flying, but they've got menace. And by slightly larger, I mean much larger, because once you get to 9 of them, again, on that trigger, they become 9/9s. So, hey, that's just game ending in many scenarios. Being like, oh, okay, cool, I'm swinging with 81 total damage. Good luck, opponents. Yeah, this one, again, kind of like a Spell Slinger in Dimir, Wraith Tribal. You can do some pretty crazy things with it. So, yeah, congratulations again, lower than Nazgul, a very spicy cool commander. 12th place, 5,970 decks. But now we're moving on to 11th place with 6,561 decks. Irieti, I can never get that name right, of the Charmed Apple, a 2/4 Heathen Warlock for 3 mana in Orzhov. Each creature that's enchanted by an aura you control can attack your planeswalkers you control. Beginning of your end step, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life for X number of auras you control. So this is one of those commanders that breaks the mold. It is one that does something that we have not seen on a commander before, and when that happens, well, it can go one of two directions, where it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's like interesting, but like no one really wants to play that, or like, oh my goodness, where has this been all of our lives? Why have we not had a commander that does this? Aura control, essentially, with Drain? Yeah, there's a reason why this one is so popular, because, well, it can be quite powerful and quite interesting, and you can utilize, again, cards that don't see the light of day anywhere else, because auras are pretty weak for the most part in many scenarios. They just are. But with this commander, it's like, no, every single one of my auras is basically a pacifism against me. I can still swing at other players as well, and also it's just a giant draining effect as well. So it's a very cool commander. One that, again, just brings life to auras, so I love that. 11th place finish, 6,561 decks. Congratulations again, however you say your name, Ariite. Let's go with that. But now let's move on to 10th place with 7,240 decks. Yeah, that's a giant jump. We've got Frodo Adventures Hobbit / Sam Loyal Lieutenant. We'll get to that one here in a second. 1/3 Halfling Scout in Orzhov for 2 with Vigilance. Whenever it attacks, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, the ring tempts you. Then if Frodo is your ring bearer, the ring has tempted you 2 or more times, draw a card. And then let's talk about the Sam really quick if I can get to it, because I put it in the wrong spot, but that's completely fine. You're going to forgive me for that, right? Sam Loyal Attendant, a 2/4 halfling peasant for 3 mana in Selesnya. Partners, of course, with Frodo. At the beginning of combat, your turn, create a food token. Active abilities for tokens you control cost 1 less to activate. So this is a cool combination, obviously, because they work very, very well together. Frodo wants you to gain life, and when you do that, cool, good things happen. And Sam wants you to actually make food. And then, yeah, you can gain the life with that. You can also sacrifice those foods in a good way. So again, being able to reduce the cost of your foods down to 1 to tap and sacrifice is much more reasonable. You can do some really cool things with it. There's a lot of cool effects that you can do with these. And of course, it's just the classic combination of Sam and Frodo, best friends of all time. I mean, maybe there's other best friends, but this is not a list to debate best friends. This is a list to debate what the most popular commanders are, and there's not really a debate because of just numbers. Anyways, congratulations again, Sam and Frodo, on your 10th place finish. But now let's move on to 9th place with 7,451 decks. Zul'Dak Void Gorger, a 7/4 Eldrazi for 6 mana in total. Color spells you cast from your hand with mana value 7 or greater have Cascade. Yeah, there's not much to say about this one other than players love colorless commanders because they are typically very unique, and there aren't too many of them out there. There really aren't many at all. I think, actually, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on this one, but I believe colorless is the least represented color combination, color identity, essentially, out of all of the commanders out there. I believe there's probably that, and then I would assume, okay, I guess like the 4 mana ones. Never mind, the 4 mana ones are probably the 4 color ones, I should say, are probably less representative. Unless you consider partners, then they are, so then that would be. Regardless, this isn't a debate about that. It's a very cool commander. Again, players love Eldrazi. Many players out there do. And many players like big spells and also love cascading and the random value out of that. So this kind of brings all those things together. Get some big mana, cast some big things, including maybe Eldrazi, to then cascade into more Eldrazi. And then your opponents just run away and probably leave that table forever. So yeah, Zul'Dak Void Gorger, congratulations on your 9th place finish. 7,451 decks to your name. Next up, let's move on to 8th place with 7,701 decks to its name, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for this one as well, because again, I don't like Sadar Jabari of Zalfair, and it's not really the card's fault, it's just one specific thing on it. A 4/3 human knight for 4 mana in total, an Esper. Eminence. Stop right there. I hate the card. Whenever you attack with 1 or more Knights of Sadar Jabari is in the command zone on the battlefield, draw a card, discard a card. I know it's not that powerful. It's not that overpowered of an effect. I understand that the other Eminence commanders coming before it, like Dragon, are much more powerful with their Eminence effects. I don't care. I don't like Eminence. I don't like free value for doing nothing except for just playing your commander in the command zone, just leaving it there and then saying, I get free value. Ha 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 ha. Not a fan of that. I know there's a lot of players out there that are fans of it, clearly, because this is the 8th most popular commander for the year and one of the most popular precons of the year, too. So I am very sorry. You're not going to change my opinion on this one, though. I just do not like Eminence at all. And if I see that on a card, immediately, it is one of my least favorite cards of all time. Flying First Strike, whenever it deals counter to a player, return target Knight creature card from grave to the battlefield. Obviously, some very cool things that you can do with this one. Again, obviously, swing with Knights. Cool, draw a discard. Congratulations. Get this in play, maybe, if you're really wanting to. Get some Knights out to play for free. Cool. Regardless, congratulations to Sadar Jabari of Zalfair. 8th place finish, 7,701 decks to its name. Next up, at 7th place, finally a 5-color commander. That's right, I'm a big 5-color proponent because, well, I like playing with all the things. Tom Bombadil, a 4/4 God Bard for Wooburg. As long as there are 4 or more lore counters among sagas you control, it has Hexproof and Indestructible. Two different keywords that are just gross to deal with. So again, you can't target it, and also it's indestructible. So unless you've got like a mass bounce effect or a mass sacrifice effect, you're probably not touching this commander. Whenever the final ability of a saga you control resolves, reveal cards to the top of your library to reveal a saga card. Put that on the battlefield. The rest of the bottom of your library in random order. Only triggers once each turn. There's some gross things that you can do with this, of course. I mean, yeah, you might only get it once on your turn, but also, hey, there's opponents' turns too, and you can proliferate and get more counters on them to actually just keep getting more and more value, more and more sagas. Saga Tribal 5-color. We've really been waiting for a commander that's been very specifically focused on that. We finally got one in a big way with a really cool character. So again, congratulations, Tom Bombadil, for your 7th place finish. 7,785 decks to your name. Next up, perhaps the most surprising combination out of all those kind of like partner, but not separate card commanders, however you want to call it, like team-ups, is that what they're called? Valiant, and they get Rog Monster, a 4/4 human frog, 4/4 mana in total in Abzan. First strike, death touch, replenish a land on each of your turns. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever it attacks, sacrifice creature land, then draw a card. This is a commander that can be built in a lot of different effective ways, a lot of different very effective ways. Again, getting extra lands into play, that's already something players really want to do. Ramping, being able to shut your opponents down, slow them down. Again, creatures, non-basic lands come to play tapped. It really slows them down in a lot of ways. That can be a value for some players as well. Some players may not build around that, if they stacks, but yeah. Even if you're not building around that, still it's a nice additional effect to have to slow your opponents down. Under attack, sacrifice a creature or land, draw a card. Being able to utilize your resources in an effective way to dig down into your deck, and also maybe aristocrat style commander where you're actually just gaining extra value out of that. So again, a commander that can be built in a lot of different ways with a really cool team up and some colors that can utilize things in very effective ways. Yeah, finally get Rog Monster. Not surprised to see you here. 6th place, 7,857 decks to your name. And we did it again! 5th place. Congratulations, 5 color. We made the top 10 again with a second commander. A 4/4 Phyrexian Elemental for Wooburg, except the black mana symbol in there is Phyrexian black, so you can spend just 4 mana to cast this in 2 life. If you lose unspent mana, mana becomes black instead, so basically a mana bank, but instead of it being like Crufix, which says, hey, it's colors instead, it's like, nope, it's black instead, so you can utilize that in different ways. Beginning of your pre-combat main phase of the top card of your library, may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols at its cost. If you do add 3 mana in combination of its colors, put in your hand. If you don't reveal it, put in your hand. Basically, hey, is it 3 colored mana symbols in its cost? No? Cool, you just get it for free. Is it? Oh, awesome. You just get a giant amount of mana. Congratulations. You just get some ramp right there, too. So, yes, this is a mana bank for you that also can give you mana and also card advantage on a 5-color commander. You're not surprised to see this one up here. 5th place finish, 7,926 decks whose name just short of 8,000. You'll get there someday, Omneth. I know you will. Next up, a Traxa Grand Unifier, a 7/7 Phyrexian Angel with all the keywords in the world, Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, if I can say it right, for 3 in Traxa colors, green, white, blue, black. Whenever a Traxa enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards in your library. For each card type, you may put a card of that type from your cards in your hand, put the rest of them in your library in random order. That includes, of course, artifact, battle, creature, enchantment, instant, land, planeswalker, sorcery. I think I got it right. 8? I believe there's 8 card types. So yeah, this actually is the card that actually revealed that battles were a thing, which is pretty cool. But also, this is a card that they probably should have limited, just limited a little bit. Like, how we have those things that are like, hey, if it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you get the trigger. Not sure why Wizards determined that wasn't necessary on this monstrosity, but they didn't limit it in that way. So therefore, you can blink it and get that effect. But wait, I mean, yeah, you're definitely, oh wait, no, yeah, you are in multiple colors that can blink this very easily. Again, blue and white can easily blink this, get its effect again and again and again. Oh, also, you're in black, which means if your opponents actually try to deal with this and like take it out, yeah, you've got those like feigned death type effects, like, oh, if it's gonna die, it comes right back. Oh, I get that effect again. Yay! Yeah, this is a very powerful one. Not to mention that it's a 7/7 Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, 3-shot KO on any player in a color that also gives you double strike with white. Yeah, your opponents are going to be gone in no time. So this can give you an absurd amount of value. It can be a giant threat. Not surprised to see this one up there, and players love Traxa too. So yeah, congratulations on your 4th place finish. 8,337 decks to your name, Traxa. But of course, better than Traxa, better than 4 colors is 5 colors. That's right, top 10. We've got 3 5-color commanders. Congratulations to us 5-color fans out there. A 2/2 Ledger Artifact Creature Mirror for 3 mana. Whenever you cast a mirror spell, create a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token. At the beginning of combat on your turn, untap each mirror you control, pay Wooburg tap, put 3 counters on each mirror you control, activate only during your turn. Actually, ironically, a long time ago, like 3-4 years, whatever it was ago, a long time ago, in an episode on like creature types that don't have a commander to them. I mean, yeah, players are like, well, what about Morophon? That's everything, haha. No, bad. Yes, I understand that changelings are a creature type, but specifically, come on, deal with it. Come on, just come on, bear with me, okay? Bear with me a little bit on this. Mir needed a commander. It did, and it got it in a huge way right away. Urtet is massive. Urtet is so cool. Urtet gives Mir everything they need. Okay, again, it generates Mir for you. It lets untap effects happen with that, which is fantastic because there are a lot of cool mirror out there that have great tap effects, including just some regular mana dorks, and also utilizing that to make those mirror massive. Again, this might just be 1/1s that you're making, but if you activate this twice on your turn, which is very easy to do again with a mirror deck because you got mirrors that can generate mana too. Cool, congratulations. You got 7/7 mirror to go at your opponents. Congratulations again, Urtet. Third place finished 8,633 decks to your name. But next up at second place, we've got yet another 4-color commander, Aragon the Uniter, a 5/5 human noble for 4 mana in total, red, green, white, blue. Whenever you cast a white spell, make a 1/1 human soldier creature token. Whenever you cast a blue spell, scry 2. When you cast a red spell, lightning bolt an opponent in the face. Whenever you cast a green spell, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. This does it all. It is a Swiss Army knife of commanders because it's like, hey, did you cast a spell? It's like 3 colors. Cool, you get like 3 things. You get like all this extra value. You get so much absurd extra value just for having this in play. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I cast 1 spell, did 18 things. What else is new? Of course, there's even more ways to take advantage of this. You know, obviously token doublers could take advantage of that first one. You could play something like Elegeth to, you know, take advantage of that second one and draw 3 cards instead of just scrying, or sorry, 2 cards instead of scrying 2. You can also do damage doublers, damage triplers to get even more out of that. And of course, the pump effect could be, you know, you could take advantage of that even more. Regardless, there's a lot of cool things going on with this one. Players love 4-color commanders for the most part, and one that's like, hey, 4-color, multicolor, tribal. Basically, you can build in a lot of different ways, and you can take advantage of all these different things that you're doing. It's incredibly powerful, incredibly effective. Aragon, congratulations on your second place finish. 8,796 decks to your name. But ironically, Lord of the Rings, yeah, irony right here. Sauron the Dark Lord is the #1 commander of the year. That is just quite ironic. A 7/6 avatar for 6 mana in total in Grixis Ward. Okay, here we go. Sacrifice a ledger artifact or ledger creature. Gross. That's basically hexproof. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, mass orcs 1. Whenever an army you control deals combat to a player, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, discard your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. There's so much going on here. And yeah, this is just a commander that's just pretty gross. It can be built in a lot of different, really effective ways. And again, it's just a very, very metal card. I mean, just so much grossness going on with it. The art is crazy cool too. And players just like, yes, I'm the Dark Lord. I will win. Yeah, that's how Sauron talked, actually. But yeah, first of all, again, incredibly hard to deal with. Again, Ward, typically nowhere near as good as Hexproof. But when it's like, hey, sacrifice a ledger artifact or creature, if you don't have one of those, you can't do that. Even if you do one of those, hey, I'm playing blue, which means I probably have counter spells. And if you do that, I might just counter your effect, and all of a sudden, you just tried to Swords of Plowshare as my commander. You had to sacrifice your commander to do so, and then I countered it. Was it worth it? No. And then also on top of that, opponents casting any spells you Amass Orcs 1. Amass really... Amass isn't really all that good. I mean, I understand why they designed the way they did. Going up on a creature is nowhere near as good as going wide. So like, hey, I make 1 orc army. Congratulations to me. Okay, it's a 1/1. Now it's a 2/2. Yay, it's getting larger. I'd much rather be like orcs everywhere. I understand why they didn't do it that way, but again, there are ways to take advantage of that, where it's like, okay, I will just instead maybe have a free sacrifice outlet in play and just sacrifice the orcs that I'm making so that every single time an opponent casts a spell, I Goblin Bombardment them in the face, or Phyrexian Altar. I mean, I'm not going to be able to do that because it's not budget, but Phyrexian Altar to get free mana. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to take advantage of that. Again, having your armies actually get through on players, so the ring tempts you. When the ring tempts you, you get to discard your hand and draw 4. Of course, there are ways to double up that amount, like Teferi's Age's Insight, Thought Reflection, etc., to just draw 8. So every single time the ring tempts you, you just get a new hand plus. I mean, even if you're just going to 4, that's still a lot. Ways to take advantage of discarding, ways to take advantage of drawing, ways to take advantage of your graveyard. This can do a lot of things. Not surprised to see it up here. Again, congratulations on your first played finish, Sauron the Dark Lord, at 10,085 decks to its name. But now as this episode is coming to a close, it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know how much you dislike my takes on Shalan Halar and Sadar Jabari, because many of you do, clearly, which is okay that we disagree on that. I'm still not going to back down that I don't like Eminence and I don't like commanders that are just too easy, like that one. And other players are going to say, well, some of the commanders you like are too easy, and you're probably right, but I like my commanders. Anyways, Comment below your thoughts on the commanders from this year. Again, we got a ton of them, like nearly 400 of them. I personally would like us to slow down just a little bit, but it's still nice to take a look back at the previous year and say, what were the really cool ones out there? What were the top 20? What were the most popular? What do players want to play? Apparently, Sauron the Dark Lord is what they want to play. And Aragorn too. And all the other things. Regardless, make sure you comment below. Check out the card list link in the description below if you're interested in any of these commanders. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.